there, it's Erin with Time Saving Templates, and today I'm going to dive into an example of one of our templates in the human resources category. So we're going to talk about the annual merit increase template, and there are two versions actually. There's also merit increase analysis template. There are both a job and department, so a job title and department analysis, and a gender pay gap analysis. So you can get all three of those together in a combined version, or you can also get just the merit increase pages and then the analysis part separate. So I'm going to go through all of the combined version, which has everything, so that you can get an idea of what is involved. So this is really compensation related in HR, which is my corporate background in compensation. With this template, you're going to see I do usually color code everything in the template. So the green is cells that you need to fill out in order for other summaries to update. And the gray is going to be the formulas, which you don't want to write over. White is information that you can fill out, but you don't have to. There's a lot of extra information here. And with the HR templates, I also have yellow, which represents what the manager would be entering. So if you were filling out this worksheet, you would enter the actual merit increase here. Or if you work in a larger company where you give each manager their own spreadsheet with the information filled out already, and then they would come in and decide what is the actual merit increase going to be per individual. The template is set up to pull in a bunch of information to help make those pay decisions, and also pulling in an HR recommended increase percentage that's based on a couple of factors that you can set up. So performance ratings, and also where their current salary is compared to your salary ranges. It will also calculate the current compa ratio as well as the new compa ratio after the merit increase is applied. And I have another video that goes all into compa ratio, what it means, how it's calculated. I will link to that video that goes over the compa ratio as well. The gray columns are all based on information you put in these other pages: merit increase matrix, salary ranges, which I'll go over in a second, but I just want to scroll to the end. There's also a place to enter comment. You can also track who's eligible or not here, and then entering reason why. This part up here is calculating a retro payment. You may or may not need this. If this, for example, is if at the time that you're reviewing these increases, you want it to say you're in March and you're wanting it to go back to February, or you want it to go back to January, the start of the year, you would then enter how many paychecks and the number of paychecks to retro, and it's going to calculate that retro payment. But if you don't have a retro, if you're just reviewing this and then it's going to be effective in the future, you don't need to fill that information out. Okay, so one other main thing about this page is you're going to set your budget. So this is a really simple calculation. You're going to paste in all your employee data here, obviously, and it's going to be the current annual salary. That's what it's set up for. So it's calculating the current pay for everybody here, and we're going to take the budget as a percentage of everybody's total salary. So it's at 5%, maybe 3% is more typical for a merit increase. So that's going to calculate your budget as 3% times the total payroll in the worksheet. So depending on how you determine eligibility, or if you have someone in here that's not eligible for merit, it's still going to calculate their increase as part of the budget. So you may want to remove or delete the salary if, for example, this person's over the range and they're not eligible. Maybe you don't want their salary contributing to the budget, or maybe you do. So that's something to consider. That's going to calculate the budget. And then, of course, it's also going to calculate remaining budget left after your increases have been entered here. Into the other pages, we're going to be pulling in the performance rating. So this is just a simple page where you're going to paste employee ID and the performance rating that you use in your company. So it could be, a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. It could be letters, however you do it. And then we also have the merit increase matrix. So this is where you put different performance ratings that are possible. And I believe it's up to 20 different ratings that you could enter. And then you're going to define what you consider as below market, within market, and above. And this is going to be based on where their pay is in relation to the salary range that you have established here. So this template works best if you already have salary ranges per a salary grade or a salary band that you're assigning each position to. I have had people use it that don't have specific salary ranges. Instead, you could have it per position. You can edit things in the details page to work for your situations. The formulas will come protected, but you can, this is the one page you can unprotect it without a password if your ranges are different. So we're pulling in the salary band midpoint based on their salary grade that's entered here. So it's going to look at the grade here and pull in this midpoint. And the midpoint is kind of what we're considering is the market for that grade. So back to the matrix, you can in here, the green cells is where you're setting your percentages. So you're going to define the percentage to midpoint. If they're less than 75% of midpoint, then you can define that as below market. And then you could say if their salary is greater than 110 or 120 of midpoint, it'll just define it that way. So for example, it'll set the range in between that. So everyone that is 76 to 119 of the midpoint is considered within market. So for example, the salary midpoint for this first row is 90,000 and their salary is 30,000. So they're 33%. That's just calculating current salary divided by the salary band midpoint. That's the compa ratio. So their 33% is low for in comparison to the midpoint. So that would assign them to a below market based on falling at less than 75%. So that's below market. And then with these next two, the salary is right at the midpoint. So 40,000, 40,000. So they're going to be right at market if they're right at 100% of the midpoint. And we got someone 200% comp ratio. This would be an above market. Their current salary is 60,000. The midpoint is 30,000. So that would be above the midpoint and probably over the range for that position as well. So that's what the matrix looks at to give, an HR recommended increase. So considering how it falls, you would then enter what HR would recommend for somebody above market, but with a high rating. Maybe you would still want to do an increase since the rating is high. But if it's a lower rating and they're above market, maybe you would not give an increase or a smaller increase. So you would just fill this out as you would, as a general guideline of what you would want to recommend for a merit increase percentage. So that, what I've covered so far comes with the main basic version of the merit increase template. So then you would go through and the managers would fill this out considering this information and the recommended percentage. Well, maybe they actually want to give something different. And so that gives the flexibility to do that here. and also track the difference in the budget. We'll look at what is actually proposed right here. So that's an example of how to use the basic or standard merit increase template as part of a merit program at your company or business. And so I'm actually going to split this up into a two-part video. So this first part, I covered the pages up to here. And that's in the basic version. And I'm going to do a second video to dive into the next part, the upgrade options, which you can, this would be for after the program is completed and you're looking to summarize all the information about what departments, what jobs had the most increases, average amounts per job, and also a job gender analysis. So there's a lot of things we can do with that. So I'll link to the second video when it's posted that's going to go over how that part can kind of integrate with the whole merit increase program. So until next time, don't forget that I'm here to help you streamline and save time when it comes to using Excel worksheets in your business, your company, your job, and usually that's with HR and compensation related templates. And we have a free HR compensation metrics cheat sheet that you can also go grab if you would like that. If you go to timesavingtemplates.com/free resources, we have a few different sections. We have small business, rental property, and then we also have the human resource and compensation. And there you'll find the compensation analytics PDF. So this is a 3-page cheat sheet that goes over all the information that you want to know about how compensation metrics work and what they mean and that sort of thing. So I hope this helps, and if you enjoyed that, feel free to like and subscribe and watch out for the next video. I'll be doing the part 2 of the merit increase template. See you next time. Bye.